Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you are, please stop what you're doing for just a moment. What I'm about to share could genuinely change how you move, feel, and live for the rest of your life. Your legs aren't just getting weaker because you're getting older. They're getting weaker because nobody told you how to feed them. I'm Dr. Sophia, and today I'm sharing 6 specific foods that rebuild muscle, restore stability, and give you back the independence you deserve. Let's begin. Section number 6, eggs, the muscle starter key. For decades, many of my patients have walked into my clinic terrified of the humble egg. They were told that eggs would clog their arteries and harm their hearts. This advice led millions of seniors to push the egg carton aside. But I am here to tell you that for your aging legs, this was a devastating mistake. When you stop eating eggs, your muscles begin to starve. You might notice your legs feeling a little heavier when you walk to the mailbox. You might find yourself pushing off the armrests of your chair just to stand up. These are not just signs of getting older. They are signs that your muscle fibers are losing their spark. You see, after the age of 65, your body develops something we call anabolic resistance. Think of it like a stubborn engine that refuses to start on a cold morning. Your muscles become deaf to the protein signals they use to hear clearly. To wake them up, you need a very specific trigger called leucine. Leucine is an amino acid that acts like a spark plug for muscle growth. Without it, your body cannot repair the tiny tears in your leg muscles that happen every day. Eggs are quite literally one of the most concentrated sources of leucine on this planet. When you eat them, you are sending a loud, clear signal to your quadriceps and calves that it is time to rebuild. I want you to think about how your legs feel right now. Do your knees feel a bit wobbly when you go down the basement stairs? Does a long walk in the park leave you feeling exhausted for days? This is often because your muscle cell membranes are becoming fragile. This is where the egg yolk comes in. That golden center contains choline and vitamin D. These nutrients act like a protective shield, keeping your muscle cells strong and flexible. Research from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign has confirmed this. They found that eating just over 1 gram of leucine, which is exactly what you get in 2 large eggs, is enough to jumpstart muscle building even in seniors with severe muscle loss. I remember a patient of mine named Martha. She was 74 years old and lived in a beautiful home in Arizona. Martha had stopped eating eggs 20 years ago because she was worried about her cholesterol. By the time she saw me, she was so afraid of falling that she had stopped going upstairs altogether. She felt trapped on the first floor of her own home. We made a simple change. I asked her to start eating 3 whole eggs every single morning. We didn't use expensive powders or strange supplements. We just used real food. Within 8 weeks, Martha called me in tears of joy. She told me she had walked up to her second-floor bedroom to grab a book, and she realized halfway up that she wasn't even holding the railing. Her legs finally had the fuel they had been begging for. So, here is my advice for you today. Please, stop throwing away the yolks. The yolk is where the medicine lives. I want you to start eating 2 to 3 whole eggs daily. Cook them gently over low heat with a little bit of butter or olive oil. High heat can damage those delicate proteins, so keep it nice and easy. If you love a good breakfast, please comment eggs below. It lets me know you are ready to start feeding your strength. Remember, your body wants to be strong. You just have to give it the right tools to do the job. Section number 5, wild-caught salmon, the fire extinguisher. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your legs were made of lead? Perhaps they feel heavy or they ache with a dull throb that makes you want to stay in bed just a little longer. Many of my patients describe a strange tightness in their calves or a cramping sensation that wakes them up in the middle of the night. If this sounds familiar, I want you to listen closely. This is not just a sign of a long day. It is often the sound of chronic inflammation quietly damaging your muscle tissue while you sleep. Think of this inflammation like a small, smoldering forest fire inside your legs. Over time, that heat chars your muscle fibers and wears down the nerve pathways that help you stay balanced. This brings us to our next powerhouse food. Wild-caught salmon is one of the most effective tools nature has ever provided to put out those internal fires. The secret lies in two specific compounds called EPA and DHA, omega-3 fatty acids. In my years as a doctor, I have seen many people try to fix this with a simple pill. But there is a profound difference between a processed supplement and the real thing. When you eat a piece of wild salmon, you are delivering a flood of anti-inflammatory relief directly to your weary muscles. These fatty acids act like water bombers over a forest fire. They chemically neutralize the inflammatory triggers that tend to skyrocket in our bodies after we pass the age of 60. As we get older, our bodies also lose the ability to produce vitamin D from the sun. This is a major problem because vitamin D is the glue that holds your balance and muscle strength together. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that a staggering 77% of adults over 65 are deficient in this vital nutrient. When you are low on vitamin D, your muscles become weak and your risk of a dangerous fall goes up. This is why salmon is so essential. The science behind this is truly remarkable. A study from the University of Aberdeen in Scotland followed 87 older adults for 18 weeks. They found that the group eating omega-3 levels equivalent to 3 servings of salmon per week saw a 22% increase in their muscle protein synthesis. That means their bodies became 22% better at building and repairing muscle compared to those who didn't eat it. This is not just a theory, it is a proven biological advantage for your legs. I once treated a gentleman named Harold, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. Harold loved his morning walks around the lake, but the aching in his thighs had become so sharp that he was ready to give up his hobby. He told me his legs felt like they were smoldering after every walk. We didn't reach for a prescription pad. Instead, we went to the grocery store. I had Harold start eating 3 6-ounce portions of wild-caught salmon every week. Within just 1 month, he walked into my office with a smile. The smoldering feeling was gone. He felt light on his feet again. So, here is your mission. I want you to go to your local market and look for salmon labeled as wild caught. This is very important. Farmed salmon often contains higher levels of inflammatory fats that can actually work against you. Start having 3 6-ounce servings every week. Pair it with some lemon and herbs to keep it simple. You are not just cooking dinner. You are sending a team of firemen to protect the strength and future of your legs. Your body will thank you for it with every step you take. Section number 4, spinach and dark greens. The fuel injection. Have you ever watched someone your age move with effortless grace? They stand up from a deep armchair without pushing off the armrests. They walk with a steady, confident stride instead of a cautious shuffle. I would be willing to bet a significant amount that dark leafy greens are a regular part of their diet. There is a very specific biological reason for this. After you reach the age of 75, your body loses approximately 35% of its ability to recycle a tiny but mighty molecule called nitric oxide. This molecule acts like a master traffic controller for the blood flow in your legs. It sends the signal for your blood vessels to open wide and let oxygen reach your muscles. When nitric oxide levels drop, your microcirculation begins to constrict. It is like a traffic jam in your veins. Nutrients cannot get into your muscle fibers, and waste products cannot get out. This is why so many of you feel that frustrating heaviness in your thighs and calves. You might describe it as your legs feeling like they are filled with lead or concrete. This is a classic symptom of poor blood flow and a lack of magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that 68% of Americans over the age of 60 are severely lacking in. This deficiency is a major reason why your legs might cramp painfully in the middle of the night or why your feet might curl up involuntarily while you're resting. Your muscles simply lose the ability to relax properly. They stay in a state of constant, low-level tension that wears you out before the day has even begun. The good news is that you can use food to bypass what aging has tried to take away. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are loaded with dietary nitrates. Your body uses the bacteria in your mouth to convert these nitrates back into the nitric oxide you need. A remarkable study from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found that adding a simple serving of spinach to the diet improved muscle efficiency in older adults by 19%. Think about that for a moment. The muscles did not have to grow larger to perform better. They simply became more efficient at using the oxygen and fuel that were already there. It is exactly like upgrading the fuel injection system in an old car engine. The engine stays the same, but it runs smoother, cleaner, and much longer. I once had a patient named William, a retired mail carrier from Virginia. After walking miles every single day for 30 years, William found that his legs were finally giving out. He told me they felt like solid concrete every morning. He had been taking magnesium pills for years, but he saw very little improvement. I told him to put the pills aside and head to the grocery store. We started a simple routine of eating 2 cups of sautéed spinach every single day. I told him he must always cook his greens in a quality fat like olive oil because the nutrients in spinach are fat-soluble. Without the fat, they just pass right through you. 6 weeks later, William walked into my office with a spring in his step. He told me the concrete feeling had vanished. He was back to walking his old mail route just for the joy of being outdoors. So, here is your plan of action. I want you to start eating 2 cups of cooked spinach or other dark leafy greens every day. Do not just eat them raw in a salad. Cooking them down makes it much easier for your aging digestive system to absorb the magnesium and nitrates. Always sauté them with a little bit of healthy fat and garlic to unlock their full power. You are not just eating a side dish. You are injecting high-quality fuel directly into your legs. If you want to feel that surge of energy and strength again, please comment "strength" below. It is time to get you moving with grace once more. Section number 3. Greek yogurt, the gut-muscle axis. Most people think of yogurt as just a light snack, something you eat when you are trying to be good or watching your weight. But I want to change how you look at that simple cup in your refrigerator. Full-fat Greek yogurt is actually one of the most powerful muscle-building tools available to the aging human body. It is dramatically underutilized as a way to keep your legs strong. You see, a single cup of plain Greek yogurt contains between 17 and 20 grams of high-quality protein. This protein is what we scientists call highly bioavailable. It does not take the scenic route through your body. It goes directly to where your legs need it most. It is packed with the branched-chain amino acids that act like the building blocks for your muscle fibers. However, there is a deeper reason why Greek yogurt is essential for you. It involves a fascinating new area of science called the gut-muscle axis. As we get older, our digestive system becomes less efficient. You might be eating a healthy dinner, but your body is no longer able to extract the nutrients from that food effectively. This is why many seniors feel weak even when they think they are eating enough. Their gut is no longer sending the right signals to their muscles. Research from the University of California, Davis has shown that the health of your gut bacteria is a primary indicator of your muscle mass and your leg strength. If your gut is not healthy, your legs will stay weak, no matter how much protein you consume. After the age of 65, the internal library of bacteria in your digestive tract begins to lose its variety. It is like a library that is slowly losing its books over time. Without those beneficial bacteria, your body loses its ability to recycle protein and fight off the inflammation that makes your legs feel heavy and stiff. This leads to symptoms you might recognize. You might feel bloated after meals. You might notice that your muscles feel soft, or that your recovery time after a simple walk is getting longer and longer. These are all signs that your gut-muscle axis is out of balance. Greek yogurt helps to restock that library with live probiotic cultures that tell your body it is time to grow and repair. I want to give you a very clear instruction today. Please stop buying the low-fat or fat-free versions of yogurt. In my experience, those companies often replace the healthy fats with hidden sugars. Those sugars drive the very inflammation that destroys your muscle tissue. You must choose the plain, full-fat version. I remember a patient named Susan from Florida. She was 72 years old and felt like she was slowly becoming frail. She told me she was eating like a bird because she just didn't have much of an appetite. We made one simple change. We added 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt with a small drizzle of honey to her daily routine. We made sure she ate it right after her morning walk. Within 12 weeks, Susan walked back into my clinic with a firm, steady stride. She told me her legs felt solid again for the first time in a decade. Here is the most important part of the solution. Timing is everything. You should eat your Greek yogurt within 30 to 45 minutes of any physical activity. It does not have to be a heavy workout. Even a short walk around the block counts. This is what we call your anabolic window. It is the specific time when your muscles are most hungry for repair and most receptive to the protein signals. You are giving your body the bricks it needs to rebuild your strength while the engine is still warm. If you are ready to start this simple and delicious habit, please comment Greek yogurt below. It lets me know you are taking this step toward a more independent and active life. Your body has the capacity to be strong again. You just have to give it the right fuel at the right time. Section number 2, beets, the brain-leg connector. Do you ever feel like your legs are just not listening to your brain? Maybe you feel a bit wobbly when you first stand up from the sofa. Or perhaps you feel like your feet are shuffling instead of stepping firmly. Many of my patients think this is just a sign of their muscles failing. But as a doctor, I can tell you that the problem is often the connection between your head and your toes. As we age, the communication lines between our brain and our lower body can get fuzzy. It is like a bad phone connection where the signals are dropped. This is where the amazing power of beets comes in. Beets are not just a colorful vegetable for a salad, they are a frontier in science for the aging body. The secret lies in dietary nitrates. Beets contain 4 times as many nitrates as your average leafy green. When those nitrates reach the oxygen-deprived environment of your working leg muscles, they are converted into nitric oxide with incredible efficiency. This creates what we call a vasodilatory cascade. It is a wave of blood vessel opening that floods your legs with the oxygen they have been starving for. But here is the part that truly fascinates researchers at major medical institutions. A landmark study at Wake Forest University found that older adults who consumed the equivalent of 2 medium beets showed a 38% increase in blood flow to the white matter regions of the brain. These are the specific areas associated with motor control. This means beets do not just help your legs move better, they actually help your brain control your legs with more precision. For anyone concerned about falls or losing their steady gait, this is a massive breakthrough. This is vital because after age 60, our mitochondrial DNA can accumulate errors. The power generators in your muscle cells start to run like a car with a failing battery. Beets are rich in betaine, a compound that helps protect these generators and reduces harmful chemicals in your blood. Without this protection, you might experience constant fatigue, a lack of coordination, or a general feeling of being unsteady on your feet. Using real food like beets is a safe and natural way to keep your cellular engines running smoothly. I want to tell you about Dorothy. She was a 68-year-old woman from Seattle who came to see me because she was using a cane for every step. She told me she felt like she was walking on eggshells. We did not use any special medication. We simply added 2 roasted beets to her lunch 4 days a week. Within 12 weeks, Dorothy walked into my clinic without her cane. She was crying tears of joy because she was finally back to work in her garden. She was moving with confidence once more. So, here is your practical solution for today. Please, do not boil your beets for a long time. If you do that, the water-soluble nitrates will just leak out into the pot. Instead, I want you to roast them. Set your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and roast them for 45 to 60 minutes. This concentrates the nitrates and keeps the medicine inside the vegetable. If you were surprised by how powerful this humble root can be, please comment "wow" below. It is time to get your brain and your legs talking to each other again. Section number 1. Extra virgin olive oil, the biological thermostat. Many of you have spent the last 30 years avoiding fat because you were told it was bad for your heart. But I am here to tell you that this one mistake has left your muscles starving and your joints stiff. As we get older, our bodies develop a frustrating problem with the mTOR pathway. I want you to think of this pathway as the master thermostat for your muscle growth. After the age of 60, that thermostat often gets stuck on a very low setting. This means your body simply stops listening to the signals to repair your legs, no matter how much you walk or how much protein you eat. You might feel like your legs are permanently tired or that your strength has reached a dead end. High-quality extra virgin olive oil is not just a fat for your salad. It is a powerful signaling molecule. It contains a unique compound called oleocanthal. This plant compound works in your body almost exactly like ibuprofen. It targets the same inflammatory enzymes that make your knees ache and your hips feel frozen. But unlike a pill from a bottle, it does not cause stomach bleeding or strain your kidneys. A landmark study from the University of Athens found that seniors who consumed 4 tablespoons of this golden oil daily had a 37% lower risk of severe muscle loss. It helps to recalibrate your internal thermostat so your muscle cells can start building strength again. I want to share the story of Arthur. He was an 81-year-old retired Navy commander who felt like his world was shrinking. Arthur could not walk more than 2 blocks without his legs giving out on him. He had been avoiding all fats for decades. We introduced 4 tablespoons of fresh, high-quality olive oil into his daily routine. We did not change anything else at first. At his 6-month follow-up, Arthur sent me a photograph that I still keep on my wall. It was a picture of him crossing the finish line of a 2-mile charity walk. He was standing tall with a wide smile. So, here is your plan of action. I want you to go to your kitchen right now and check your olive oil. If it is in a clear plastic bottle or a clear glass bottle, please throw it away. Light and heat destroy the delicate medicine inside that oil. You must look for a dark glass bottle. More importantly, look for a harvest date on the label, not just an expiration date. You want oil that was harvested recently. It should have a slightly peppery kick at the back of your throat. Use 4 tablespoons every single day. Drizzle it over your eggs, your salmon, and your greens. You are not just adding flavor. You are giving your body the golden fuel it needs to stay strong, steady, and independent for years to come. You were not built to be a passenger in your own life. Your legs were designed for freedom. Today, you have the tools to rebuild that strength. Tell me in the comments which food you are adding to your list first. If this talk helped you, subscribe to join our community. Share this with someone you love. Eat well, move daily, and remember your best years are still ahead. I am Dr. Sophia. Take care.